I entitled my research project Use of Academic Libraries by Undergraduate Commuter Students who were formerly resident college students, an exploration of associated factors. Through this study, I hope to discover how undergraduate students use their academic libraries, as well as how often undergraduate students use their academic libraries. I'm interested in the target population of undergraduate students, but more specifically, current commuters who were previously residents. In terms of the form of academic library use that I'm looking at, I'm curious about whether or not students use their academic libraries in person, online, or a combination of the two. And regarding the frequency of academic library use, I'm categorizing use as never, occasional, or regular. I did predict some factors that might influence students' use of their academic libraries, and this could include students' demographics, their opinions of the customer service that they receive at libraries, for example, the extent to which staff are helpful in the physical library by answering reference questions, also the exchange of communication that happens online between librarians and patrons through email, messenger, or chat. I predict that students' perceptions of the convenience level of their academic libraries may also be a factor in terms of how often they use their libraries. For instance, if they perceive their libraries as inconvenient for whatever reason, I imagine they would use them much less than students who perceive their academic libraries as convenient. And finally, I believe that libraries' hours of operation will affect how often students use the libraries. For example, some institutions have libraries that are open 24/7 while others close at a certain time of night. The seasons also influence the hours of operation. For example, in the summertime, many libraries have more limited hours. Next, I'd like to review the most relevant literature as it relates to my research topic. One of the first studies that I came across, which was relevant to my topic, was published in 2012 by Brown-Séquard, and the title of it is Library Spaces for Urban Diverse Commuter Students, a Participatory Action Research Project. This study found that commuters generally regard academic libraries as ideal places to meet with classmates. It was determined that this is sometimes due to the fact that commuters have few places on campus that are available to them. Therefore, academic libraries provide a neutral spot where both commuter students and resident students can feel comfortable collaborating. Also, this study found that academic libraries are conducive to commuter students' need to get down to work. Many times commuter students have busy lifestyles, so they wish to maximize their time while on campus. Academic libraries serve as places where they can be productive, get studying done, and make progress on their assignments. Another study that I came across, which also connects to my research topic, was published in 2015, just last year, and it was published by Regalado and Small. It's entitled, I Am More Productive in the Library Because It's Quiet, Commuter Students in the College Library. This study found that students appreciated the carrel over shared locations on campus or at home. And carrels, of course, are desk-like pieces of furniture with dividers between them that offer privacy and a place to concentrate. Commuter students also valued the privacy that their academic libraries provided and felt that it was a desired atmosphere to work on their academic tasks. So all of these findings shed light on some of the reasons why commuter students make use of their academic libraries and show a preference for them. Additional studies that are related to my research topic include a research article by May and Swaby entitled Using and Experiencing the Academic Library, a Multi-Site Observational Study of Space and Place, and this was published in 2015. One of the findings of this study was that several participants had a strong sense of attachment to the library. In other words, they considered it to be a crucial part of their college experience. This study also found that many participants appreciate access to resources, including library staff and books, which they are able to make use of at their academic libraries and aren't necessarily able to access elsewhere. Another study of interest to my research topic was also published last year in 2015. This one is entitled Socioeconomic Indicators Associated with First-Year College Students' Use of Academic Libraries, and it is by Soria, Nakarud, and Peterson. This study found that first-year students from lower socioeconomic status backgrounds are less likely to utilize libraries, and I found this curious, but also matching one of my predictions that demographics would be a factor in how often college students, particularly the population I'm looking at, use their academic libraries. Another finding of this study is that students who had financial aid packages that need to be repaid, for example, loans, were significantly less likely to utilize workstations, use academic journals, and use online databases compared to their peers. I found this interesting as well, and it also speaks to the demographics of students and how they play a role in their use of academic libraries. Another research article that connects to my topic was published in 2011, written by Kim, and entitled, Why Should I Use University Library Website Resources? Discipline Differences. This research article determined that arts and science majors are generally pleased with the online offerings of their academic libraries, whereas users in the business field perceived university library website resources as less valuable than their counterparts in arts and sciences. I found this interesting because it conveys how students' majors and specializations also play a role in their perception of academic libraries and how frequently or infrequently they use them. Another article that I located was published in 2011 by Kaur and Singh and is entitled Customer Service for Academic Library Users on the Web, the Electronic Library. A finding of this study was that 3 main areas of concern in terms of customer service via the web include online reference, technical help, information skills, instructions, and customer feedback. So this linked to my anticipated factor of customer service being connected to students' perspectives and feelings about their academic libraries. This study also found that personal interactions between users and library staff have decreased dramatically with the proliferation of online information and services. And this gives some attention to the differences between services provided in the physical library versus those provided online by librarians at the academic library. Next, I'd like to answer the question, what makes my study original? And what makes my study original is that I'm looking at a very unique population, and that is, of course, undergraduate commuter students currently who were previously undergraduate resident students for at least 1 year. This population is a helpful one to study because they have an understanding of both the experience of a resident student as well as the experience of a commuter student in terms of how they perceive and use academic libraries. This sample is helpful because of the insight that they can share regarding factors associated with both populations and their perspectives on their academic libraries. My study is also original because the research up till now really investigates isolated factors, whereas my study explores multiple factors as they're related to students' use of academic libraries. In terms of the aim of my research project, um, I wish to determine what influences undergraduate students to use their academic libraries, and I'm looking at both in person and online, as previously mentioned. Some of the questions of importance to my study focus on the primary reasons why undergrad commuter students visit their academic libraries, as well as what keeps them away from their academic libraries and why they might want to avoid their academic libraries. And finally, a question of great importance to this research is what can academic librarians or libraries do in response to this awareness of why this population uses them or does not use them? How can they, as a result, increase the likelihood that this population will use academic libraries going forward, whether that be in person or online? In terms of my research strategy, I decided to pursue qualitative research as I wish to gain insight on what my participants can share about their experiences with academic libraries and their perception of them. So commentaries would really be helpful to my study. I also selected to pursue a multiple case study, knowing that case studies can provide in-depth awareness and understanding, and I can get some particular information not only from one individual but from two individuals, so that I can get a broader understanding of why these students use their libraries and how often they do so. I also chose to conduct non-probability sampling, and my reason for this is because of the convenience it offers, and it allows me to gain access to members of the population that particularly meet the criteria that I'm looking for. In terms of my data collection method, I opted to go with a semi-structured interview guide, and I like the style of a semi-structured interview guide because it allows the researcher to ask previously established questions, but also gives the opportunity for the researcher to build questions off of the responses that participants provide during the interview. My interview guide includes yes/no style questions, but mostly open-ended questions. And I included just over 30 questions, 33 specifically is what my interview guide came to. For an example of one of the open-ended questions that I posed on my interview guide, a focus for one of them was the reasons which the population uses their academic libraries and how those reasons might differ from when the same students visited their academic libraries as resident college students. Another focus of one of my open-ended questions is the frequency with which the population uses the online resources provided by their academic libraries. And again, I'm looking to compare and contrast that to the frequency with which the population used their academic library's online resources when a resident college student living on campus. And then finally, another topic of focus for one of my open-ended questions was the overall opinion of the population regarding their academic libraries and how that may or may not contrast from their opinion of their academic libraries when they lived on campus.